Good afternoon. Round 19 has ensured some playoff dreams remain alive while others begin to fade. Today on the Rugby League Verdict, we'll break down some of the big moments and set the stage for a crucial round 20. Jon Wilkin joins us this afternoon. Jon, let's get straight into it. After last week, who is surging, who is stumbling, and which round 20 clash is, could prove vital?
Yeah, good afternoon, Jenna. Good afternoon, everybody. Look, it's been an amazing few weeks in Super League. There's been trouble at the top. Wigan obviously getting rolled a few times. Hull KR having a slight wobble against Lee. But my team who are surging at the moment, and they look like they're on the way to the League Leaders Shield, is Hull KR. They got a hard-fought win against Catalan at the weekend, and that takes them 2 points further clear of Wigan, who got beaten once more. So they're surging, they're pushing towards the top of the table. The opposite can be said of the Catalans Dragons, sitting 9th spot in the table. And it's been an incredibly difficult year. Obviously, Steve McNamara left, and there's been a lot of change, and it looks like there's going to need to be a lot of change. So they're certainly stumbling. Another team that are surging, Jenna, Lee Leopards. What a story the Lee Leopards have been. I think Adrian Lamb and his players have done an exceptional job to really push almost into that top two. You know, they sit on the cusp of pushing up behind Wigan and getting into the top two spots. So they've had just a sensational 2025. Incredibly entertaining to watch. They've had some players who've delivered some exceptional performances. Just an enjoyable team to watch play rugby league. Maybe another stumbler is Warrington Wolves, Jenna Brooks, because it's not going well over there.
Yeah, it isn't, is it? Just on Warrington, they're 3 points off the top six. They lost to Castleford, which, fair to say, it's probably a game that they would have expected to win. They don't have the easiest of run-ins either. They've got Lee twice, Wigan, and then a final round encounter with Hull KR. I mean, it's going to be quite the challenge, isn't it, Jon?
Yeah, they've left it really late, there's no doubt about that. Mathematically, 30 points gets you into the playoffs historically. If you can get to 30, you make the top six. I think Warrington sit on 18 points, so they've got to win. I think they've got to win 6 out of the last 9 games. And like you said there, they've got 4 games, maybe 5 games that are going to be potentially really tricky. So the game this week against Lee, who are massively in form, for me, is do or die for Warrington's season. If they don't beat Lee, I don't think they can get it done simply on maths, because they've got too many big teams to play. They've got a difficult run in, and I think they're going to struggle to get to that 30-point mark. But it's sport, and anything can happen. But on the balance of everything, they probably don't deserve to be there. I just haven't seen the resilience or fight or competitive spirit from Warrington that we saw from them last year. So probably deservedly where they sit.
You know, as you touched on there, that round 20 clash will be a very vital game. Now, the other team that you did mention, Jon, that was stumbling is the Catalans Dragons. Well, yesterday, Joel Tomkins was confirmed as Catalans' permanent head coach. I'm delighted to say he joins us from the south of France. Joel, first things first, many congratulations on securing the top job on a permanent basis.
Yeah, thanks, Jenna. As Jon touched on earlier on, and yourself there, it's been a turbulent year, to say the least. But we're looking to turn a corner now over these next 8 weeks and building into next season. I'm in a privileged position to be given the role as head coach for the next 2 years, and it's something I'm really excited about, taking the team hopefully into a new area. We're looking at a different type of recruitment throughout these next couple of years, and I'm excited about the challenge.
So as you touched on there, the deal will last until 2027. Now, I'm certain you and Bernard, the owner, had many conversations about the position. But Joel, can you let us into, I suppose, what was said and why you believe you're the best man for the role?
Me and Bernard had quite a few conversations, as you say, and I know he spoke to a few other coaches, so some guys from Australia and some English coaches with more experience than myself. I just shared with Bernard my vision of the next couple of years and how I'd like things to go. First of all, with the recruitment, I've been involved in the recruitment heavily. As I said, we'll be looking at kind of a younger generation of players. I think traditionally the Dragons have gone for bigger names coming over to play for us for the last couple of years of their careers, and then retiring on the back of it, which has worked. 2021, 2023, the club got to the grand final. But I feel like the last couple of years that strategy hasn't really worked. So we'll be looking at bringing some guys on the way up in the careers who want to come, develop their game, make a name for themselves, and then if they move on and go back to the NRL, then so be it. Or if they love it, playing for the Dragons, hopefully they stay here long term.
Can you give us any names, perhaps any players that you might have an eye on for 2026 and the future?
There'll be some announcements over the next couple of weeks. We've got a few boys over the line already, which the club are preparing on releasing those names, and then we've got another couple of guys who are close, not quite over the line yet. Probably not household names. Maybe some fans will have to do a little bit of research on some of the players, but definitely exciting talents who'll be coming to the Dragons for the right reasons and with the right attitude.
Well, one player we know we won't be seeing play for Catalan in 2026 is your brother, Sam. You're not going to try and convince him to, maybe like renege on his latest retirement?
No, I think it's the right time for Sam to hang up the boots. And he's pretty clear in his motivation to join yourself, Jenna, and John, and the Sky Sports team next year. And I think he's really excited about a role in the media. I think it's his passion moving forward. I think he's good at it. I think it's good for the game, having people who's got opinions and they're not afraid to give their opinions. And I think he'll do a great job of that. But yeah, I think he's got enough on with that, and he won't be part of the Dragons staff next year.
Well, we are very happy to have him as part of the Sky team. Now, you kind of touched on it, Joel. We've got 8 games to go. Catalan are 9th, 9 points outside the top 6. Have you given up on the playoffs this year?
I've been asked that question a couple of times, Jenna. Whilst it's still mathematically possible, no, we've not given up. Realistically, if I'm honest, is it likely? No. We'd need a hell of a lot of things to go our way and a massive improvement in form and a turnaround in results. But our goal will be to perform each week. We've got 8 games left. We'll be turning up to every game with a game plan we believe can get us a result. That may sound a little bit negative, but I'm a realist. The way we've played for the first 19 rounds of the competition hasn't put us in a position to be too optimistic about making the playoffs. There will be one eye on next season. If we can go and win our last 8 games and we make playoffs, then we'll be more than happy. But we'll be trying to build over these next 8 games, put some good habits into our game, and really want to hit the ground running for next season if we don't make the playoffs.
Well, Joel Tomkins, thank you so much for your time on the Rugby League Verdict. We appreciate it. And once again, a huge congratulations for getting this job on a permanent basis.
Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate it.
Thank you. John, I want to touch on the table, the Super League table, which I believe we can actually show now. One side that has really impressed me this year is Wakefield. They're the newly promoted side. There they are. They're only 1 point outside the top 6. And it certainly seems that they are enjoying their time back in the top flight. I say they've impressed me, but I also know that they've impressed you.
Yeah, look, that 5, 6 and 7 spot and even 8 is so fascinating. Leeds are probably free of that, but 5, 6, 7 and 8 is just where all of the action's going to be at over the coming rounds. And in round 20, we see Wakefield take on Leeds. It's the pick of the round. We're there on Thursday night to showcase that game. I think what's impressed me about Wakefield is, you can come into a league and be dour, and you can get results, and you can be tough to beat and just manage to sort of wangle a few results here and there, or you can come in and full bore attack a competition and play differently to everybody else and like rip good teams' defences to shreds and be entertaining and be fun and sell out the stadium, and that's what they've done. Like, there's more. I'm more impressed by the style and the confidence at which they've attacked 2025 than anything else. There's really simple and boring and dull ways to win rugby games. In fact, majority of sports, there's a really simple and easy and dull way to get it done. You know what Darryl Powell and Wakefield have done? They've made it like sexy, energetic, it looks great. I love watching them play. I think it's been such a success story. They've got a nice run in as well, Jenna, so they're every chance of making that 6. And Hull, who's currently sitting 6th, are rightly be nervous of Wakefield because they've got a handful of easy fixtures, or, we say easy fixtures, what you'd perceive as easier fixtures. It's looking good for Darryl Powell and his team.
Yeah, no easy fixtures in Super League. Just on that, it certainly is looking like it'll be a brilliant three-way tussle for that 6th place spot. As you touched on Hull, you've obviously got Wakefield and Warrington as well. I mean, it's all to play for.
Yeah, it is. The thing, John Cartwright at Hull FC, right, he's come in and him and Richie Myler recruitment, they've really turned the club round. And I hugely respect Hull FC because they finished second bottom last year. And I think the fans of Hull deserve so much credit because they stuck with the team and they've turned out in numbers again this year. And it's such a positive story where Hull have been to where they've got to. They're a massive club, Jenna. I grew up in that part of the world, and Hull FC are a massive club. And our game, we want to see Hull KR and Hull FC be competitive and successful. Going back to the 1980s, that was like the big game in our sport. So we want to see that. I think for Wakefield, they've been the surprise package, haven't they? Because they just overachieved, maybe in our eyes, not in theirs. I'd say Darryl Powell was always aiming to get into that 6. And it looks like he could. And then the interesting story that rumbles on is Warrington. It's like, where have Warrington gone? It's like any evidence of good that was in 2024 has sort of disappeared. And
just let me interrupt you there. Where have they gone? What do you put that down to?
I don't know. I just think they mentally disappeared.
Do you think Vegas could be at all at fault?
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah, I think Vegas was a problem for them because for people who don't know rugby league, obviously we took a game to Las Vegas. It was on the biggest stage in front of the NRL and Warrington got dismantled by Wigan, who were white hot. I think anyone would have got dismantled by them. And really since then, the confidence is like eviscerated. It's just disappeared. And they're a team that when Sam Burgess came in, I felt a number of their players really leaned on Sam for confidence. And maybe, 2 years in, some of that confidence has started to wane again. They've been unlucky. I think they had a tough start to the year. The fixture list wasn't kind to them. And they've been on the wrong end of some weird decisions. I'll back Sam Burgess up on that. But there's certain things that I saw in Warrington, like a fight, whatever the situation, like that their try line in 2024 was like a cliff top, right? And if you wanted to push them back over that, you had to do some incredible things. Now in 2025, it's not the case. They've just been leaking points. They've not showed that urgency, the desperation that all the great teams in our competition do. Hull KR, the best team in the competition. Wigan, best team in the competition. Leigh, one of the best teams in the competition. Showed desperation to defend regardless of the consequences, regardless of the time of the game, regardless if you're sulking, regardless if you're moving to Australia, regardless if you're staying in this country, regardless if you're retiring. They turn up every week consistently and do it, and that's the difference between the top 3 teams as I see them in Wigan, Hull KR and Leigh and the rest. Because the other teams have a week off here and there. Those 3 don't.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say we don't know what will happen to Warrington, but I do know that we're in for a hugely exciting end to the Super League season 2025. Jon Wilkin, thank you so much for joining us on the Rugby League Verdict.
Thanks, Jenna.
And this is the official Sky Sports podcast, The Bench with Jenna and Jon. The latest episode is available for you to download right now. It is with Hull FC playmaker Will Price. In round 20, these are the fixtures. As you can see, there are only 3 games because Super League, it's a split round. It's arrived. We'll see those 3 games. And then the following weekend, the first weekend of August, we'll see another 3 there. But one definitely to watch is Wakefield up against Leeds. We're on air at 7:30 p.m. Sky Sports Plus, and that's tomorrow night.